and welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by Lions Nation Unite. Today is Monday, February 7th. Man, we got a good show for you today. We're going to talk about who stood out in the recent Senior Bowl. And we're going to talk about Ben Johnson, maybe the next OC. My man Ella going to let you know what's going on with that and so much more. But before we get into all that, I got to bring in the crew. Y'all see him up there rocking that MCDC sweatshirt. Y'all know he's our resident, Rick Ross, my man. L. Kuchos, what's up, my dude?
What's up, Prowl Nation, and good morning.
Y'all see him at the bottom of the screen. Y'all see him. He is the boxing pride of Jackson, Michigan. He is the defensive line coach extraordinaire. It's who?
Coach Jones. Who is Coach Mike Jones? What's going on, Lion fans?
Let's get this thing started
right now.
Let go.
It's Detroit Lions Talk, baby.
We're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Yes, sir. We in the deep.
All right, people, we're going to let Curt Steele let y'all know who was the standouts today at the Reese's Senior Bowl.
All right, over the weekend, we had the Reese's Senior Bowl on the national team. Kenny Pickett, you know that guy, he's been making his name out there. 6 for 6 for 89 yards and a touchdown. Perfect day for him. Then we have Boye Mafe. Now, this dude shut it down. He had 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. He's the edge rusher out of Minnesota with 1 forced fumble. And then we got Jake Ferguson, the big tight end out of Wisconsin, 3 receptions, 62 yards and a touchdown. Now, he caught the eye of our coach, Dan Campbell. You know that former tight end. So he had his eye on that big fella out there doing his thing. On the American squad, which is the Lions squad, we had Sam Howell, 6 for 9, 67 yards, and 1 touchdown run. Now, another dude who is a quarterback, but he led the American League in rushing, American team in rushing, Malik Willis, because I think I said Watson last week. Malik Willis, he had 4 carries for 54 yards. Pretty impressive. And D'Angelo Malone, now this was the defensive star on the American squad. He had 6 tackles, a half a sack, and 2 quarterback hurries for the American team on that defensive line. Man, we had some guys who kind of really stood out for the American team. Now, we know the score of the game. If you don't know, the national team, who was led by the Jets, won 20-10. But it was close for a little bit. It got to about 13-7 with that touchdown run by Sam Howell. I'm not really impressed with him. You know, I see him all the time down here in North Carolina. But what did you guys think about what happened in the Senior Bowl this weekend?
And I think the Senior Bowl is pretty good, man. I wish you would have got a little better look at Malik Willis, how he passed the ball. Each quarterback was limited. Like, I think Desmond Ritter threw the most 8 passes. I think that was the most thrown from any quarterback in the Senior Bowl. So, I mean, we got a limited look at those guys. So, but all in all, I think Kenny Pickett stood out a little bit. He did try to force one pass that should have been he didn't try to force it. He underthrew it. And if he would have actually threw it, you know what I'm saying, and caught him in stride, it would have been a touchdown. So the guy had to come back for that pass. I forgot who it was. He had to come back for that pass. But, you know, he looked pretty good. I don't think he hurt his stock at all. Now, y'all know Desmond Ritter, though, that's
He
had his
day. 6 for 8 for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, look at you, LL. No, but I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Desmond Ritter, he has the build, and I think he will have the best rookie season of any QB because Desmond Ritter will probably be the 3rd quarterback taken, which means he'll probably go to a playoff contender, which means he'll more than likely go to a team that's like on the fringe of making the playoffs. And I think Desmond Ritter he's going to go to the playoffs. If he goes to the Saints or maybe the Falcons or Bucks or, you know what I'm saying, one of those teams, he's going to take them to the playoffs. I'm going to let y'all know that right now. I said it. It is February the 7th, 2022 at 5:22 in the morning. Okay, y'all remember that.
All right. So, yeah, Desmond Ridder did have a good game. So, LA, what'd you think about the Senior Bowl?
I didn't get to see much of it. I think that all of the young men did a fantastic job. I do like those numbers. I like the ones I like to see the guys that may not have as much buzz going in, but coming out they have a whole lot of buzz, and that's like my man Boye Mafe. I've been hearing his name a little bit around there. Good for you, Coach Mike, with Desmond Ridder, man. I really hope he turns out to be everything that you're saying he is to be. I honestly don't care, man. I just said 100 times I don't really want any of these quarterbacks. The quarterbacks looked okay in limited time that they got. Good for Desmond Ridder, man. If he goes to the playoffs or whatever it is, that's fine. If he comes here and he does not turn into what you're telling me he does, Coach Mike, we will have this conversation again.
Oh yeah.
All right. So for me, I'm a defensive guy. You know, they have some sack rules down there at the Senior Bowl. They really can't, you know, for injury reasons, they don't want anybody getting hurt, you know, before they, you know, get drafted. So, but Boye Mafe was the standout guy. He really killed it down there at the Senior Bowl. If you look at his performance, I mean, you look at what he just did out there. I mean, he just set the world on fire. He should have been an MVP, in my opinion. They picked a young man out of Oklahoma, but I think Boye Mafe should have been the MVP of that game. I don't know how he was not, but you know, if I didn't get a vote, so I can't demand a recount. But those individuals, you look at that coming out of the Senior Bowl. Jermaine Johnson II is really one of those names that's shooting up draft boards. Yeah. So with him and Mafe, you have a deeper edge class than most people think. People just think about the two guys that is at the top of the class with Aiden Hutchinson and Thibodeau. So I mean, we'll see. It's a pretty deep draft class, and you know, we may be looking at some, you know, where we can trade back and get a player that is, you know, that fits the build right here in Detroit is for what we want as an edge rusher. So, but with all that being said, it is time for the family discussion topic for today to ask you which All-Star game did you watch this weekend? Everybody didn't watch the Senior Bowl. Some people watched the East-West Shrine game. Some people watched the NFL Players Association Bowl, or some people watched the NFL Pro Bowl, which is just a glorified touch game. So I mean, I didn't hear a lot of chatter. Someone asked me yesterday about did I watch it. I think it was Dose of Dion, and I was like, man, I took a nap. Yeah, but let us know in the comments down below which All-Star game did you watch, and then who stood out for you in whatever All-Star game that you watched. If you watched the recent Senior Bowl, let us know. Who was your standout player for that game? And you know how we do it. The March to 4K is on. You know, like the video, subscribe to the video, hit the subscribe button. It's free. It's free. And if you know, it's free 99 and 50 free cent if you need more free. But with all that being said, it is time for us to play our favorite game with these standouts. It is hell yeah or hell no on these draft prospects for the Senior Bowl. Kenny Pickett's up first. We're going to go to LL first. Kenny Pickett, with that outstanding performance in the recent Senior Bowl, would you like the Lions to pick him up? Hell yeah or hell no?
Hell no. But it's not. It ain't because of none of the play in the Senior Bowl or anything. It's because of that fake slide. I really didn't like that. I really did not like that.
Oh, the fake slide early in the season. Yeah, that was a lightning rod. That caused the NCAA to change that rule.
They should, because somebody should have lit his ass up.
Yeah. What you got, Coach Michael Kenny Pickett?
Hell no, I don't want him. I don't want him.
Okay.
I just don't like him.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Kenny Pickett as well. Not just because of his play, but I think the Lions have so many more positions to fill, so much more positions of need on their roster to go quarterback, especially in that first pick of the draft.
Oh yeah.
All right, next up we got my man Boye Mafe out of Minnesota, the edge rusher who set that Senior Bowl on fire. Coach Mike, did we take a look at Boye Mafe? Hell yeah or hell no?
Somebody got his mama's number. Hell yeah.
We going hell yeah, Boye Mafi. L, what you got on Boye Mafi? Did we take a look at that big fella? Hell yeah or hell no?
Hell yeah, I think he might fit, and with proper coaching, I got a lot. Maybe I have too much faith in his coaching staff, but I think he could turn into something superb with his coaching staff.
Okay, I'm feeling Boye Mafi as well. I'm gonna go hell yeah on Boye Mafi as well. All right, next up, Jake Ferguson, that big tight end out of Wisconsin, out there just making some plays. LL, what you got on the big fella, Jake Ferguson out of Wisconsin? Do we take a look at that big fella? Hell yeah or hell nah?
I'm gonna say hell yeah, because we do need a solid second tight end, and our coach was a former tight end and former tight end coach, and our possible offensive coordinator is the current tight end coach. So could be something in the cards for tight end.
All right, I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna say hell yeah. Jake Ferguson is a guy. Brock Wright really rounded into a solid tight end during this season. To add him to the mix, we would have a good trio of tight ends, bringing him in with Hawkinson as well. So I'm liking that. So I'm going to say hell yeah to Jake Ferguson. What you got, my man, Coach Mike, on Jake Ferguson? Do we look at that big fella or hell yeah or hell nah?
Hell maybe. Because, it just depends on what we do with TJ Hawkinson. I've heard a few whispers that, might trade that young man to possibly, get some more capital and stuff like that. Man, I've heard it, and it's kind of starting to make a little sense to me of why it happens. I'm not saying I support it, but I know it might happen because stuff usually happens like that we don't think gonna happen. So, hell maybe.
Hell maybe. All right, going over to the American League, American team, looking at first up, Sam Howell, quarterback out of North Carolina. I'm gonna go first on this one. I'm going to say hell no for Sam Howell, man. People talk about, he had a touchdown, they run. They said, this is the comparison. He is a slightly less talented Baker Mayfield. And I can kind of see that watching him down here in North Carolina. A less talented Baker Mayfield. So I want that guy, man. I seen this competition that he plays. Nah, I don't want Sam Howell in Detroit. So, LL, what you got on Sam Howell? Hell yeah or hell nah on Sam Howell to the Lions?
This is before it was hell nah before I even heard that comparison. But for lack of a better term, because I too am a poor man, but you want a poor man's poor man in a way, because Baker Mayfield ain't it. So you want a less talented version of that?
Oh my God.
No. What you got, Coach Mike? So that's a no on him.
Hell, I don't even want to waste my breath.
No, you waste your breath, man. We're gonna bring the last guy in, the one that we've talked about before. We've already said what we need to say about Malik Willis. Have you guys changed your mind on him any at all?
I'm still hell maybe ish, and hell no ish, leaning toward no. I don't. If he's there in the 5th or 6th round, but I don't think that's what it's going to be. So
he's gonna go in the first round to somebody.
Yeah.
And it ain't gonna be Detroit, not in my opinion. So I'm gonna say hell no. We are keeping it hell no on that one. All right. So the last young fella that we talking about, D'Angelo Malone. Now this is a guy who, like kind of Boye Mafi, kind of made a statement and then reached the Senior Bowl. So we're looking at D'Angelo Malone with that performance. Can play, outside linebacker or edge rusher. So the guy, he has potential to really fit in this defense. What do you got on D'Angelo Malone? I'm going to go to the defensive line coach extraordinaire first. What you got, Coach Jones, on D'Angelo Malone? Hell yeah or hell no on looking at that fella?
Hell yeah. I've never, ever, 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 ever turned down a pass rusher. Ever in my life. So, hell yeah.
Okay, what you got, LL?
I'm gonna say hell yeah, but depending on draft position, but hell yeah, we should at least take a look at him.
Yeah, definitely. And linebacker, like I said, is one of the positions that our coach Dan Campbell said we definitely need to look at. Our linebacking core, they already can see they're right on the raw. He keep it 100 like he always does and said we need to look at the linebackers because we did not have stellar play from that position in Detroit this season. So that's your hell yeah or hell no for the draft prospects. Hey, if you want to get yourself some Lions gear, I'm rocking that fresh lid right there. Go over to fanatics.com. Link is in the description. They got a big sale going on right now. I think it's up to 65% off of your Lions gear or any type of gear you got right there over there on that website. The link's in the description below. And a small portion of the proceeds from that link go to help us grow the content on this show. And if you want to get yourself that swaggy looking MCDC sweatshirt that my man LL Coutons is rocking right now, go over to lionsontheprowlshop.com and get yourself some Proud Nation gear. Like I said, stay tuned. We got some big things coming with that gear coming up real soon with the partnership with Lions Nation Unite. So my man LL, tell me about what's the rumblings going on with the offensive coordinator position.
Well, it's from what I've seen, it's the decision has been already made. They're just waiting to announce it, which, there's been a little bit of controversy with that in the past weeks. But front runner for the Detroit Lions offensive coordinator job is our current tight end coach, Mr. Ben Johnson. He was integral in the switch over from Anthony Lynn to Dan Campbell calling plays. It's believed that he helped Dan Campbell find a rhythm with calling those plays and things like that. Personally, whatever's clever. I hope that he's ready to receive whatever he gets due to Jared Goff, though. But what do you guys think?
I think, I'm not totally against it. I think we should still keep our options open, still kind of look at guys, interview guys, evaluate guys. But, Ben Johnson didn't do too bad for his tenure there as the offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm. Looking at that, I think it's a comfort level. I think that's what they're trying to do is, keep a comfort level with Jared Goff and with Dan Campbell. He's taking that mantle. He's looking at like pretty much like a Sean Payton, what he did down there in New Orleans. We all know that whoever the offensive coordinator was at New Orleans was pretty much a figurehead. He kind of assisted Sean Payton as the offensive coordinator, as the head coach. But we all know that he called the plays, and that's what went down in New Orleans. And a lot of head coaches do that. Kyle Shanahan out there in San Francisco does that. Andy Reid out there in Kansas City does that. So you're looking at, and even out there in LA, where the Rams right now, Sean McVay calls the plays. His offensive coordinator is a figurehead. That's his offense.
He called the plays. He designed the plays.
He designed them. He do all that stuff. So I think it's good for Dan Campbell and what his role. I think he became comfortable doing that, and I like the aggressive nature that they had, and I like the the diagrams of those plays that Ben Johnson had in the pass game, where he really opened up the pass game. You look at some of those routes that Amon-Ra St. Brown was able to get open on and score, and I like the way that they're going in that direction. So I can give my sign of approval for Ben Johnson taking over that role, because it's a de facto role anyway. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty much an assistant to Dan Campbell as the offensive coordinator. All right, so that's all we got to talk about this morning as far as that's concerned. But it's time for us to go to my favorite portion of the show. It's time for us to do what? Zip our lip and find out what you had to say about the last show, which was Wednesday. First up, we got Mike and Chris G says there isn't a quarterback worth drafting this year. Like Curt said, next year there will be some good quarterbacks coming out. I did say that. This year's class is pretty much all projects. Wait until 2023 and get that quarterback that can start games in 2023. I'm 100% in agreement with my man here, my fellas Mike and Chris G, just because of the fact that if you look at these quarterbacks, I don't want a project to be drafted, and especially in that first couple of draft picks. I want somebody who can start. You coming in, you starting day one. Let's ride. Let's go. Strap him up. I don't want a guy who we have to mold and form into a starter. He should already be. And we have enough of those picks in that first round and the early second round that we can get 3 solid starters for this team.
Right. I agree with that, Curt. D. Williams says, LL, you are hilarious. Anthony Lynn should sue the Lions because he had to work with Jared Goff. Actually, it was he should sue the Lions because he got fired because of Jared Goff. But yeah.
Well, he got a new job already, so
Right.
he ain't sweating.
He did.
Yeah, he's working for the 49ers. He's an officer's assistant. He's like what do you call that? An advisor, or whatever it is, to Kyle Shanahan. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think he's gonna be the OC because the OC just got that job in Miami. So I don't know. I think he might get promoted. Kzu Ninja says, "Hey, yo, Coach Mike." No, I'm just playing. He ain't say it like that. But he said, "Yo, Coach Mike, I feel the same way about the coaching issue. With the majority of the league being non-white, especially players, it makes sense to have ownership and coaching that the team can really connect with. More Black owners and coaches. Real leaders create more leaders, not followers." I feel you, Kzu Ninja. I'm not saying, I want just any Black person to, to be a coach. Like, oh yeah, come on, Uncle Gary, you need to go on coach. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that, it just need to be a few more faces around the league. That's all.
It needs to be fair and equal. That's what I think. That's what the big thing for the issue for me is, that it needs to be, you give quality candidates, no matter what the color of their skin, a quality interview, and in a position of where you give them a chance to be a head coach or general manager or whatever position it is. All right, John Kapler says we should definitely not draft whoever that heck is Malik Watson is. Okay, my bad. I said Malik Watson on the show last week.
You did.
We did. I did. Is it Malik? I think I was thinking about Deshaun Watson or something like that. I'm getting a little old, man, whatever. But it is Malik Willis. Yeah, I get you. I still wouldn't draft it. Whoever Malik Watson, Malik Willis, big, Warren Big. I don't give a damn. I ain't drafting either one of them.
That's funny. Friend of the show, Bubba Bo says, "Man, we should trade 2 first-rounders and golf for Stafford." I like that joke. That joke is getting more and more steam, but I don't. And I'm not saying Bubba Bo did this, but I don't like it when it's coming from people who didn't like Stafford. They're like, "Oh, y'all should just trade Stafford." Now as well, if you guys had a quarterback like Stafford, SMD, man.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
that was a good one. Jack Waters says, "Happy BHM, which is Black History Month. Great show today." Hey, shout out to Jack Waters, man.
Thank you very much.
Hey, and if you like this content, subscribe to the channel. Click the like button. Click the subscribe button. Help us get this content out to more Lions fans just like yourself. Now, what's up next, Curt?
All right, you know what it is. It's time for Dessert with your man, Curt. And Dessert with your man, Curt is today's Black History Month moment. It is brought to you by Delightful Bites. Delightful Bites, custom cookies and desserts for any occasion. If you like how they look, you'll love how they taste. Go over to the Facebook link in the description. If you want to email her directly because you don't do Facebook, it is delightfulbites18@gmail.com. Delightful Bites, get your cookie on. All right, we're going to be profiling another great Hall of Fame famer for the Detroit Lions. It is Hall of Famer Lem Barney. Excuse me. Here's a quote from Lem Barney. He says, "I died because I was in the mood to thrust forward. As I dove, I intercepted it and I did a forward shoulder roll, got up and ran into the end zone for, I think, 24 yards. And I said, man, this is going to be easy. That's my first play. And I remember it fondly." Look at that. First play of his career had an interception. Although he had a 3-time All Southwest Conference star in college, he had intercepted 26 passes in 3 seasons at Jackson State. Y'all know what Jackson State is. That's where the prime is down there coaching. Lem Barney was a comparative unknown when he joined the National Football League as a 2nd-round draft pick of the Detroit Lions in 1967. It took only a few games, however, for the 6-foot, 188-pound speedster to become widely respected as one of the premier cornerbacks in pro football. Barney originally was tested at wide receiver, but his exceptional skills as a defender could not be ignored. After a sensational rookie season, he was named the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year and selected to play in the Pro Bowl, something he would do 6 more times during his stellar career. Now, Barney also tied for the interception lead with 10 in his rookie season. 3 of his interceptions were returned for touchdowns, only 1 short of the all-time season record at that time. Barney, a native of Gulfport, Mississippi, I got family in Meridian, also won an acclaim as a kick return specialist, particularly early in his career. He saw duty both as punt and kickoff return units, as well as playing full-time at cornerback. He was a highly feared as a big play threat for good reason. In his 11-year tenure that ended in 1977, Barney had a 98-yard kickoff return, a 94-yard field goal return, and a 74-yard punt return, along with a 71-yard interception return. Man, that dude was killing it. All right, and his career, which includes 56 interceptions for 1,077 yards, 143 punt returns for 1,312 yards, and 50 kickoff returns for 1,274 yards. He scored 11 touchdowns on 7 interceptions. My man just did his thing. He had 2 punt returns, 1 kickoff return, and 1 missed field goal return for touchdowns. He also recovered 11 fumbles and doubled as the Lions punt and kickoff returners in 67. And he was named to the All-NFL teams in 68 and 69 and the All-NFC team in 1972 and 1975. Liam Barney was enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in the class of 1972. Let's look at his. Like I said, he had 11 career touchdowns, 56 interceptions, 7 Pro Bowls over his 11-year career. Liam Barney is your Black History profile for Detroit Lions on the Prowl in our Black History moment for today. All right, now it is time for us to do what? Take that walk on over to that wall of fame, baby. Now let's get this thing going. First up, we got Detroit Drew on our gold members. We got Midwest Lion, the Latino Leo, Bo Gagrius, Justin 10K, and Doug Prince 72. Over in our silver members, we got Nomus J, Cap Ice Cold, John Martin, Mr. Scotty the Bear, Shannon Peck, and Gold Lions. For our gold members, we got North End Kid, Just in the D, the Tornado, Turner C. Burley, the always inspirational one, Michael Huck, and the Doctor, Dr. Detroit. He is always in. To become a member of the Wall of Fame, click the Join Now button down in the description. Now it's time for final thoughts for today's show. My man, LL, what are your final thoughts for today's show?
Final thoughts, NFL, get your stuff together, man. As far as with the hiring practices and things like that, it's the beginning. Well, I shouldn't even say it's beginning to. This season, at least, is in the full-fledged hoopla season. It's just a whole bunch of bullshit going around. It's a much bigger conversation need to be had. Maybe one day we'll have it on this show, but NFL, get it together. Also, just for everybody else out there, be kind, have a happy Monday, and eat some good food today.
Definitely.
Right on. Happy Mondays. Get this week started off right. And that combine is not too far away. I'm getting excited about it. Yeah, man, my blood get to pumping when you know what I'm saying, when the combine come around. So yeah, man. But just be safe out there, like LL said, man, and get started to the week, man. Get a good start.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So my final thoughts for today's show is, yeah, we got some prospect coming around. We're going to start our draft coverage here soon, but we're going to start taking a look at some more free agents for the rest of the time until we get up to that combine. So stay tuned right here for more of your free agent content right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. I want to address one thing. Just because you get big time doesn't mean you should be forget where you come from. And we had a situation on Twitter this weekend where a certain NFL network personality who used to be a beat writer went after a Lions beat writer. Michael Silver from the NFL Network was just trolling a friend of the show, Eric Schlitt, for no apparent reason. It's just like Eric Schlitt was like, "What did I do to you?" Started calling him a fake journalist, and he wasn't a true guy. But this was a guy who got his start doing the exact same thing that Eric Schlitt does. Cover his local team. I can't be a fan of the team and be a true journalist. Mike, I don't know where Michael Silver is at right there with that, but Eric Schlitt is a stand-up guy. He's a friend of the show. I know Mike and I have worked with him before in the past, and that dude, he's a stand-up dude, and he knows his stuff, and he's always objective and impartial. Yeah. Just because he's a fan doesn't mean he doesn't know how to do his job. So Michael Silver, you can do what? You can kick rocks, brother, because Eric Schlitt is a real one. So with that being said, it's Monday. Start the grind off right. So you know what you got to do for us, man. Got to wipe them crumbs off your face, finish your drink, and get back to work, baby. And whatever you're doing in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. But my fellas, Coach Mike and LL, This is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon. We love you, Jim.